A big investment in the maritime sector. Tourism Minister taking a look at properties in the West. And more migrants found at sea.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening all. I'm Megan Shepard. Thank you so much for tuning in. A leader within the maritime sector making a big move on Grand Bahama. LNet Maritime breaking ground today for a $2.5 million facility on Queens Highway. Italia Hall has our top story.
The facility will be constructed on Queens Highway. Corporate leaders, family, and friends all gathered to celebrate the momentous occasion. CEO of LNet Maritime Limited, Albert Hepburn, reflecting on his journey from he was a teenager as he joined the maritime industry from the age of 16, and on August 27, 2008, he officially opened his own maritime company.
Since that day, we have serviced over 4,285 vessels. Here in Grand Bahama, as well as in Nassau, New Providence, the Cayman Islands, Port Everglades, Florida, Tampa, Florida, and through our sister company, Elite Marine Management Agency in St. Croix.
He also gave credit to his mother, Janet Shepard, for her many prayers and for partnering with him in this business venture. He says the groundbreaking ceremony represents so much.
It's the breaking of a system that said that success had to look a certain way, dress a certain way, and come from a particular socioeconomical background. It is the breaking of a culture that taught dreams had to be safe, familiar, and packaged. It is the breaking of a childhood of fear, disappointments, and stereotypes. Also, most importantly, it is the breaking of the chains of opinion and oppression and glass. Yes, glass. The glass ceiling that said, I could only go so high, so far, and just dream so big.
Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, also bringing remarks, congratulating the entrepreneur and noting that in order for the government to be successful, the private sector must step up to the plate and take their rightful place.
The more that you do is the less tax dollars that we have to spend in order to support this economy. And so I want to encourage all of you again to use Mr. Hepburn as an inspiration, to recognize that this is a land with fertile ground, that you can be successful here, and to invest, and to help us to realize the full potential of Grand Bahama from west to east.
Minister of State for Grand Bahama, the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, delivering the keynote address. He says this venture is inspirational, adding that in the last few months, the government has seen more Bahamian-owned businesses investing in the Grand Bahama economy.
LNet Maritime is a testament to what Bahamians can achieve through hard work, through faith, innovation, and dedication. So if there is anybody who says that Grand Bahama is dead, I tell them open their eyes. Open their eyes and they will see. I am in no way saying we are booming. I am in no way saying that we are doing all that we could do or all that we should do. But what I am saying is that we are not dead. What I am saying is that there are Bahamians and there are investors who are pushing their way through in Grand Bahama, and they ought to be commended.
Special presentations were then made. Following the ceremony, Albert Hepburn, along with his family, private and government officials, officially broke the ground. The project will be completed in 14 months, and once completed, a total of 80 to 100 persons are expected to be employed. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Senior Manager of Business Development at the Grand Bahama Port Authority, Derek Newbold, was also a part of the ceremony. He says the maritime industry has been performing well over the past several years on Grand Bahama.
We must find a better way to learn to take advantage of some of the spin-off opportunities that this sector provides. You know, there's a saying that goes, there are great things on the other side of fear. However, most of us have not yet moved beyond our fears to embrace some of those opportunities. When I think of Ellie is certainly fearless. And he's demonstrated that he is able to embrace some of those opportunities, and he's now realizing some of them. So Ellie, what I'd like to say to you this morning is, on behalf of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, we'd like to wish you continued success as you grow and develop your footprint.
Director of Corporate and Investment Banking at CIBC First Caribbean, Raymond Donaldson, thanking the CEO of LNet, Albert Hepburn, for selecting First Caribbean as his financial partner in this venture.
We are very proud that we have been selected as the financier of choice for the building and equipping of what will no doubt be an ultra-modern state-of-the-art facility. We at CIBC First Caribbean, we see hundreds of projects every year, but not often do we see one of this caliber. It is not often we see a wholly owned Bahamian company, one where the principals combined have over 45 years of experience in the field. One that, as I said before, is not only of strategic importance to the island of Grand Bahama, but to the Bahamian economy. Ladies and gentlemen, what LNet has accomplished for 10 years is nothing short of remarkable.
Meanwhile, the Minister of Tourism on a tour of tourism projects in the Western District. Despite a tourism slump here on Grand Bahama for the past several years, he is expressing optimism about the future of Grand Bahama's tourism sector.
The Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Dionisio de Aguilar, along with Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama, Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe, touring the Western District. The Minister notes that a major development is poised to begin in West End, and he wanted to take a look at what is proposed.
It's good to be able to report some positive news about the tourist development in Grand Bahama. And so I'm very excited to come out here and feel it, see it, touch it. So when I get back around the cabinet table, I know what I'm talking about. So no, it's great news. I think the employment opportunities are going to be significant. Hopefully, an announcement will be forthcoming to announce the launching of that project. It's been a long time in the works. The people of Grand Bahama are looking for some good news and something positive as it relates to our tourism product.
The delegation took a tour of the vast acres of land that was once a part of the GIN project. The minister adding that he also visited the cruise port and says he believes that there has been some growth.
Went to the cruise port, went on the ships of the Balearia and the grand celebration I noticed in port. So the ferry business is growing. The government has changed the way they incentivize the ferry business. Prior to our election, these ferry companies would get a lump sum to market. And I changed that. I wanted it to be more performance-based. And so now the ferry companies are incentivized and receive an incentive for every passenger that they bring to Grand Bahama. And the incentive is increased if that passenger stays overnight.
Now, while the rest of the Bahamas continues to experience growth with tourism numbers, Minister de Aguilar admits that Grand Bahama has a lot of catching up to do. But he is assuring residents that this island is front and center of the government's growth and development plan.
I am amazed at all the activity that's going on down here, and I'm optimistic about the future. So I'm going to go back to Nassau and hurry these projects along and make sure that they come to a successful fruition, as I think everybody in the cabinet is minded to do. You know, Grand Bahama has 5 government F&M MPs, and 3 of which sit around the cabinet table. So I want the people of Grand Bahama to know that they're fighting hard for them.
In news from the crime beat, a business establishment on Coral Road was robbed over the weekend. Around 6 a.m. on Saturday, a male and a female employee were attempting to enter their place of employment when they were held up at gunpoint. The culprit was able to make his escape with a deposit bag containing a quantity of money. Now, if you have any information that can help with the investigation, you should contact the Central Detective Unit in Grand Bahama at telephone numbers 350-3107-12, 911-919, or call your nearest police station. Police recovering an illegal firearm and ammunition in the Freeport area yesterday. Reports say officers were on patrol in Baffin Circle in North Bahama last evening when they observed a male coming out of the bushes with a bag in his hand. The male, on seeing the officers, reportedly fled back into the bushes. Officers pursued him, but the suspect dropped the bag and made his escape. Police say the bag contained a pistol and magazine with 28 live rounds of ammunition. Investigations are continuing. Over in Bimini, 2 males were arrested for possession of dangerous drugs. Police tell us that officers on routine patrol in Allenstown, Bimini on Sunday morning observed a vehicle with 2 male passengers and a strong odor emanating from it. Officers then stopped and searched the vehicle, but the driver fled the scene. Officers then searched the passenger and vehicle, where they discovered a quantity of suspected marijuana on the passenger and inside the vehicle. The passenger was arrested. Now, late yesterday, the male driver was also arrested and taken into police custody. They are both expected to be charged before the magistrate court early this week. Immigration officers taking 13 Cuban migrants into custody. The U.S. Coast Guard cutter handing over the migrants to immigration officers at the Lucaine Harbor. The 12 males and 1 female had reportedly left Villa Clara, Cuba on August 20th in a rustic 17-foot vessel destined for the United States. The Coast Guard spotted the migrants in the vicinity of Elbow Key in Keystyle Bank on Wednesday and transferred the group onto the cutter for transport to Freeport. After taking custody of the migrants, immigration officers transported them to their headquarters for further processing and to be examined by the staff from the Disease Surveillance Unit of the Public Hospital Authority. The migrants were flown into New Providence to be detained at the detention center to await repatriation to Cuba. You are watching the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after this break.